The, the facilitator is loading the presentation.
Okay.
Anytime she'll
Okay.
be presenting. I think you
Okay.
can see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you so much, members, for joining this session. This is our day 2 on the sensitization and training workshop for the Vocation Training Institutes. And our target are the instructors and then the trainers in the vocational training institutes. But also, we do expect some teachers and probably even some students who may need this knowledge. Our day 2, this is how our program is going to run. We shall have an introduction to what AVR is. We shall look at the different tools, and then we shall go on to have a demo using EON-XR to create basic learning assets. Then from 3 to 4 p.m., we shall have a short quiz via the Zoom poll to check whether we have acquired some knowledge in line with what we have learned. So that is how we are going to move in this session that we are going to be having. You are most welcome. And in case some of your friends are not yet on the call, kindly invite them such that they can be able to join. Just share with them that link and then we shall get started. But we want to welcome you. Thank you so much for joining in. We do expect other members to be joining us and we shall be ready to receive them. But before we start, allow me to first invite Mr. Francis Wille to say something, and then we shall run through our program. Mr. Francis, you're most welcome.
Yes, Stephen. Don't have much, but just want to take this opportunity to welcome our fellow instructors from vocational training institutions and the teachers who have joined us and maybe other students. We value for your time to be part of this program. We are just at the initial stage of making virtual reality a reality within our uh, training institutions and also within our enterprises. So I just want to urge you to uh, be part of this. Uh, there's nothing that is difficult. Some people tend to fear technology, but there's nothing that is difficult with technology as long as you put your time and interest in it. And like most of you who are teachers, you are going to like this because one is that you already have your content which you have developed. And what you may need now for now is to be able to convert that content into AVR, which is going to make your training presentation very, very easy and also make your students to be able to understand very easily. Uh, in most cases, when we are teaching, we find challenges with the practical apparatus and also tools for use, but this technology is able to provide you with all simulations, all uh, processes to allow you get immersed, or even your students have the feel of what they are doing. So I just want to urge you to be very attentive. You never know, you could be even our champions, our consultants, our our team to push forward these technologies. So I wish you the best, and I want to take this opportunity to welcome our instructor today, Madam Flavia, who is our admin on the platform. Thank you very much. Flavia, we can see your projections. We can be able to see your presentation. I can see some younger students from...
Hello. So am
Yes,
I audible now?
yes, very audible. You can come in.
Okay. I was facing some technical challenges. Am I audible? Am I clear?
Yes, you are very clear.
Okay, thank you, Francis. Thank you, Francis. Thank you, Kaziva, for organizing this and mobilizing and coordinating that we have the team with us. Good afternoon to every one of you. I do wish for this session to be as interactive as much as possible so that I know that people are following along, and maybe if someone has a question and needs clarity on something, they're able to ask and we move at the same pace. So when I ask if we are moving along or if I greet you guys, I do expect a response. Good afternoon once again to you, dear teachers. Okay. Okay, so you're welcome to today's session. We have a number of TOTs that we work with, trainers of trainers that are going to assist. So please, trainers, if you're on the call, I request that you add TOT against your name in case someone has a question, or if they want to ask a direct question to someone and I'm not following along, you can be able to respond to such questions. So today we are going to look at awareness and sensitization and training on the AVR technologies. We have a number of them, and our goal today is to introduce you to augmented and virtual reality, 3D, AI, and the metaverse. So we will explore some real-world applications, and then we hope to have a demonstration from one of our TOTs to show you how applicable the technology is in our teaching and learning, how interesting things can be as we are teaching or as we are learning. So there'll be some relevance. There'll be relevance, I hope, to questions that were asked yesterday to answer some of those questions that you had. How can we use the technology? People that are in IT, someone posed the question in IT, how can you use the technology to have a grounding or to have a start in your career or to start a career with it? So we are going to explore all those opportunities. Flavia Nabumba is my name, and like Francis said, I'm the IT lead admin for the AVR project. Are we okay so far? Okay, so moving on. Like I said,
They
we
are
are going to
using
have...
the chat to respond.
Oh, I wish for some to at least have their audio on so that they respond, because I'm not able to follow along the chat as I'm doing my demonstration. So I think I'll go through you, Stefan, to help me give responses, audio responses to any questions that I'll be posing.
Larry, I think you first do the presentation, then maybe we shall give people time to ask questions.
Yeah, I was hoping for an interactive session so that instead of going back and forth, people are able to respond as we move along the presentation.
Stephen, can we maybe Stephen, you can just be looking at people can type or ask, raise their hands, and maybe you allow someone, because when you open it, Flavia, sometimes people it's hard to control everyone. I'm not saying that whoever is here is going to... Yeah.
Okay, so I'll be counting on you to let me know if I'm still on the call with you guys. Thank you, Humphreys. So we are going to have an understanding of the key technologies here, which are AR, augmented reality, virtual reality for VR, mixed reality, extended realities, AI, 3D, 360, and the metaverse. So here you're able to see an image of some people interacting. So this is briefly, this image encompasses what the technology is about, that you can collaborate, you can study things, teach things, learn about new concepts and hard concepts with it, create, because all that is there has been created by someone. So those are all skills that you're getting along the way. Moving along, what is virtual reality? Virtual reality here, you're completely immersed into the digital environment. So here we are talking about an immersive experience. You're completely outside of the real world that we live in. So there are different ways of how we can interact with the virtual reality, and one of them is using the virtual reality headsets. As you can see from the image to the right, there is a student, this is our student, interacting, and we are casting what he's seeing and what he's doing onto the screen at the back. So with virtual reality, you're completely immersed into a different world, and you're able to do all these different practicals and hands-on experiences, depending on what the objective is. So you as a teacher, you set an environment, you create an environment where your learners are able to study and learn. You attach all these different resources to an environment, and students are able to learn and understand content. So challenges of equipment being so expensive, learning using obsolete technology. So with the technology, we have opportunities. We have the possibility of having our students learn with alongside the new advancements or new innovations within their fields of study. Okay, so you can have the virtual workshops. Like I said, you're completely immersed using the virtual reality headsets, as you're seeing him here, wearing them over their head. We call them headsets, HMD head mounted headsets. And these controllers, the two things in his hands, your virtual hands that you use to navigate around the environment like you would in your actual environment. So moving on, what is augmented reality? Augmented reality, I think most of you or some of you have interacted with Snapchat, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So you've interacted with Snapchat and you're able to use the different filters. So here is an image, a simple image, showing someone using filters, okay? When you relay those filters, you're seeing someone kind of like a monster. The person, I don't think anyone looks like this, but I would want to hope that no one looks like this, like him. But at least when you have those filters added on to you, the real person, when you're having live sessions, that is what we call augmented reality. Okay, so you're overlaying the digital content. It can be images, it can be videos, it can be text, it can be 3 models onto the real environment. And then you have an interactive learning. We are going to see a few applications of this as well, the augmented reality. Then with the technology, the augmented reality, you have smartphones, the tablets, the AR glasses. I'm going to show you later on in the presentation how they would look like, but you have all these different things accessible to using the different devices that you have at hand, okay? So here we have someone with Infinix Smart is drawing on the board. Okay, so we have I'm going to play the short videos. Here we have an application of virtual reality augmented reality in fashion. So I don't know how many of you have seen this. So basically what this guy is doing with the technology, you have a screen there, okay? A smart screen, and someone has created an environment for you to try on clothes before you even buy it. You buy them. So as maybe a designer, or you buy clothes, you're interested in shopping, I would say. So you have this technology available to you, and you can use it before you even buy or a cloth or a particular garment. You try it on and see how you would look like. So as you see here, the avatar, that is him or similar to him. And then you try on the different outfits to see how would you look like when you wear a particular outfit. So that is just one of the applications of the technology, augmented reality in fashion. So before you make a decision, you have the technology available to you. So this is good for you as a customer, but also the person that is designing, and maybe the person that is selling boutiques and all that. So there are different applications. Then here we have an application in e-waste management. Someone used a smartphone. This was it is a work in progress, created by one of our students. How can you teach about managing waste? So using a smartphone, let me show you. As you can see, he used the smartphone, and this where you see the trash, the battery being dumped into the dustbin, that is the digital component that was created onto the real, as you can see the environment. This was the setting outside. It was a kind of a workshop, and through your phone, you're able to have the content that has been created, the digital component, the 3D that has been created, and you relay it onto the real world so that you're able to see, okay? I hope that makes sense. Are we at par? Are we moving along together? Yes, Sam.
Madam Sylvia, I'm lost. Maybe you can repeat it again. Let's first go back and demonstrate.
Okay. So like I was saying, these are just a few applications of the technology, augmented reality. Okay. So in fashion, you have someone able to try on clothes. Okay. You try on a piece of cloth before you actually buy it. Okay. Let me move this.
Madam Flavia.
You can see this gentleman. Yes, please.
Yes, Madam Flavia, we are going to first stop people from annotating. So I can request you go on above your screen where you are seeing those Zoom tools. Then go where the 3 dots are. Then are you seeing annotate somewhere?
Yeah.
Then
yes,
let us first clean our board. Erase everything, and then we place disable such that we can remove these marks people have put.
Okay. So are we good now? So like I was showing you just a few applications, sorry. These are just some of the applications of the technology. Like I said, in fashion, someone is able to choose to dress themselves up using augmented reality. You check how an outfit would look on you before you actually buy the outfit, okay? Then here we have a simple demonstration of relaying how someone can manage e-waste on a smartphone, but relayed onto the actual environment. That was just browse around the workshop, and that is a smartphone with digital content that is relayed onto that environment. Okay, so those are just some of the ways that you can interact with the technology. When we move on, we have mixed reality. So we've seen virtual reality, we've seen augmented reality. Then what is mixed reality? Mixed reality is basically a combination of the two technologies that we've seen before. So you're able to interact and between the physical and the digital objects. So just as you've seen augmented reality, it's kind of similar to augmented reality, but it differs in a way that with mixed reality, you have an actual interaction with it, so that you see how in fashion where someone is able to try on the clothes, you have the interaction of actually taking off a jacket, moving it up and forth, you move your hand, you stretch and see. So that is all interaction that is made possible with mixed reality. So you're mixing the two technologies, and it's a bit slightly advanced than augmented reality, but it is almost similar to it. Okay. So then when we talk about extended reality, now this is an umbrella to of all the technologies. It includes all technologies: AR, VR, mixed reality, AI. So it is a combination of all the technologies, the future of how we interact with computers and education, and also the different environments. So when you see you have all these technologies, the massive technologies exposed to you at a go, then we are talking about extended reality. So it's only an umbrella term that houses all the immersive technologies. I hope we understand when we talk about immersive and interactive. I hope that makes sense to every one of us.
Yes, sure.
Okay, thank you, Jolly. Then here we are seeing some images with, we are seeing to the right, there is a lady interacting with something that looks like, is it an engine or something, some kind of machinery there. And then they have AI. There is a chart, kind of like a page next to them. So they have an AI tutor. This technology is able to have that even as you're working on the real environment, you have AI guiding you through the process. So the headsets that she's putting on are AR, augmented reality enabled, that you're able to work within the actual environment, which is this machinery, and the digital, which is the AI, that panel next to her that is guiding her through the process, learning. It could be troubleshooting, it could be installation, it could be working with the machine itself. So you as a teacher, you set that environment enabled by the platform or applications and softwares availed to you. So you're able to come up with that kind of content that your students can learn with, that even when you're not with them, they're able to learn at their own pace and have that kind of immersiveness and interactivity within the class. Okay. So here we have, to the left, you have a student, a child trying to learn about a brain, and they're able to move around the environment. It is not a video, it's an image, but they're able to move around the environment to see exactly what does the brain look like, what is there inside. So these difficult concepts that we always learn about and you read through in class, someone is able to visualize them and actually touch and see how the process happens. So it's making your work as a teacher, as an instructor, easier, and also students are benefiting in the long run. That things that would be hard to explain, a student is able to pick up as they are seeing and doing those things practically. So with limitations to, like I said, limitations to us being able to have these things at our exposure, because most of the time we've been learning through videos, then here with the technology, we are able to do actual practicals. People are able to do practice, real practice with the technology itself. Okay. So then when we talk about AI, what is AI? I don't know if all of us, or at least most of us, have an idea what AI is.
Artificial intelligence, maybe if there's something broad that you could widen it.
You just, it makes what? I don't know if you're responding to my question or.
Yes, Madam Flavia, I am responding to the question.
Please pardon me.
This is a combination of using different kind of technologies to do an extraordinary, well, should I term it, but something which is extraordinary in terms of technology.
Okay, thank you, Jolly. Does anyone have a different response?
Can I give my point of view, please?
Yes,
To AI?
Mr. Katumba. Sorry?
Yes, to AI, to me as AI is, to shorten it to everyone, is the way we think and do things. So that's what AI is basically based on. Artificial intelligence, the way a machine is going to perform like a human being.
Okay, thank you so much. So that sums it up, that what a machine could do, sorry, what we humans can do, a machine can simulate what we do. So what makes AI, some could say better than us, is that you as a person, your own self, okay? But AI is able to combine different brains from different people. So you as a Katumba, you're only Katumba, and you can think within the confines of your brain and body and all that. But then AI is able to add Katumba with Kaziba, with Rona, with Sam, with Jolly, and you're able to get to combine all those. So AI is broad. I'll not go into detail about AI, but it's basically to simulate human intelligence, okay? Then here you're able to have a personalized, so AI into XR, I think we now understand when I talk about XR, a combination of all the technologies, the immersive technologies. So you're able to personalize learning, you tailor the education to the needs of a particular student. Then you have voice commands, it can have input, you have audio input, and then you get feedback in audio form or text. So you automate, feedback is automated. So AI has so many possibilities that we shall see. Here to the left, sorry, to the right is an image. One of the applications that you can use AI with the extended reality is that the environment is enabled. For example, if you're working for, let's say, a bakery has so many machines. So meaning every time they recruit new employees, there is need for training, okay? There is need for training, and they also always have tours. Students go and tour those facilities. So instead of you having to do it personally each and every time, you virtualize the environment and the experience. So here, the lady that you see wearing a helmet, the lady that you see wearing a helmet is your AI. So, and as a new employee, you're given this content where the factory, as you can see there, is virtualized, okay? Then AI is there to assist you to understand how to operate, how do you move around, how do you navigate around, the workspace, so the bakery per se here, okay? You ask it questions, you get instant feedback, okay? So you automate some of those processes, and then you give people have tours from wherever they are. You teach remotely, and people are able to understand and get the same content from wherever they are. Okay, so moving along, for us to have other technologies and to virtualize our environments, what do we need? There is something that we call 3D, 3D, and it is one of the ways that you can convert your actual environment or components or devices and equipment into virtually accessible content, okay? So when we talk about 3D, I don't know how many of us understand 3D. Okay, so a 3D is a three-dimensional digital object, okay, or spaces. So meaning, just like you, 3D enables us to have digital content, okay, that we can see exactly like, exactly how you would with your own naked eyes, okay? So the those 3D objects or components that are designed is what is uploaded onto a particular platform or application where you're going to teach from. And then you create resources around that particular component. So how does it happen? We may not go into details for the introductory basics on how the 3D components are developed, but here is one. Okay, so here is one. Here is a 3D object. Okay, so here is, and I think we all know what, okay, not all of us, but we can imagine this is an engine, okay? So what 3D does is that instead of having a 2D image, what we always have when we take pictures of our phones, you're only seeing the face of it. Here, the image is, the object is given more depth. Like I say, you're able to see it just like you would with your what? Your naked eyes. So this is a 3D engine, a 3D object that has been created to make it possible for you as a teacher to create teaching materials around, okay? And create practical sessions or hands-on sessions that a student can understand and in a way that makes sense to them. So this is an engine that someone is able to rotate and move around. You're able to see the different, to see it at different angles. Oh, sorry. So basically, that is what a 3D is, okay? So you're able to move the object, upload or import the object into the platform, and then create a lesson or practical sessions around it. So there is a limitation to PowerPoint, but through the demonstration, you'll see how you can actually have a practical session around a 3D object, okay? Then how can we, another possibilities, how can you do anatomy? You can maybe say you're teaching biology or science, okay? So here we have an object, a skeleton, okay? You're able to view it. You can even take it apart. Here it's not possible, so we may not be able to do it here in the PowerPoint, but you're able to take apart this skeleton bone by bone. You understand the bone structure, reconstruct it, and know where the bones are placed on a skeleton, okay? You take off the skull and see, okay, this is how the skull is supposed to look like. This is where this is the jawbone and all that science and biology that happens in class, okay? So there are so many applications of it, but basically, for you to understand what 3D is, I think, I hope this makes sense and makes it, gives it justice for you to see and appreciate what 3D how 3D would change the way we teach and learn. So instead of you getting an image of a skeleton or an engine, or having a video and you're teaching students around it, or waiting for you to take students out on a field trip, you could actually have this in class so that when they go to the field trip, they already envision these things and they understand them. So the translation, you're narrowing down the gap and the skills they're attaining at that level, that when they move out to the real environment, these things are already there in their brains. They can imagine and envision what could happen with the technology or a particular concept, okay? So, and then we have 360. So we've seen 3D and then we've seen 360. This is also another way of, this is also another piece of content that you can create and have your class around. So the best way, 3D is good for hands-on and practicals and all that. Then 360, I don't know how many of you have seen virtual tours, okay? You see, especially on YouTube, there is something that we have video, 360 videos. You're able to move around the space. Facebook also brought it up and you're able to see, you're viewing an image and it's like there's an extension of it. Or even through your phone, some of you that have phones that show panorama, you're able to create a 360 using your very own phone, okay? So what 360 does is it gives you immersive views of photos and videos, okay? You have a complete perspective and you can look around in all directions, okay, of the image. So this is an aerial view, a 360 aerial view of UICT. Let me share something with you. A moment. Okay. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sure.
Yes, we
The
can.
360. Okay,
We
so
can.
you have their
Yeah, we can be able to see.
okay, thank you so much. So there are gadgets that you can use to take this kind of image. So there is a camera called a 360 camera, and you use just one image to take an image in all angles or directions. 360, that's where the 360 comes from. 360 degrees that you're able to see above, below, and all in all directions. So this is what a 360 basically is, that you can create virtual tours of your environments, school, workplace, your desk where you're sitting. I think you've seen some people taking images from the drone, using a drone. Mostly people are now using it for functions, but at least we can appreciate and see how this technology can be used elsewhere. Okay, so you have your camera on a drone, and you take just one image like this from the different areas. So this is our administration. This is UICT. This is an area view of UICT. This is our classroom block. This is administration parking, and this is our administration block. Then we have academic registrars block, which is this. Then we have our seminar room, our labs, hostel. So one 360 image is enough, one or maybe multiple, and you're able to create a story. You create a story of you touring people. You bring your institution to the people, just like I'm doing now. So instead of you coming to UICT to see the National ICT Hub or UICT, I bring the ICT Hub to you. Okay, so here there is some limitation because I'm only showing you images of it, but there is a real application of you actually having a walkthrough within the the environment. Yes, Timothy, you have a question. Timothy, you raised your hand.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry,
Yes, Timothy.
that raising up of the hand, it was accidental. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Charles, you have your hand raised.
Yes. Thank you, madam. I don't know whether you can hear me.
I can.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, colleagues. Mine is about the applicability of the 360. Like for me, I am a teacher, I teach mathematics. The applicability of the 360 like mathematics topics. And now like that 360, you're giving us different pictures, and I don't know how I can be able like to take them just in case I don't have a drone. I need some clarification there and the applicability like mathematics. Thank you, madam.
Okay. Thank you so much, Charles. So with 360, the first thing you can use it for, or let me start with how you can create it. Like I said, there is a camera called a 360 camera. Okay. With that camera, you're able to take images. Okay. You use the camera just like you would your phone. It has buttons. It has some software that you can link to your phone. You use it to take images. So you don't necessarily need to have a drone, but I'm only showing you the possibilities of what the technology can do and what you can do. But basically, depending on the need. So if you want to have an aerial view, unless you can fly, but a drone would be better to help you take images of an aerial view of a place. Okay. Or maybe if you have a high-end point on the building that you can stand upon and then you take an aerial view of something, that is also possible. So that you having a drone, those are just some of the gadgets that you can use when you're creating a 360 image. So how do you apply it when you're using, when you're teaching? Unfortunately, I did not prepare an image of the lab, but you know how you have labs or a classroom, okay? So you create a 360 image of your classroom, okay? And within that 360 image, you're able to add in digital components. Like I said, you add in more digital components. It can be a 3D of you explaining math concepts. It can be, maybe you're talking about shapes, okay? So you've created your 3D shapes, okay? And you're teaching students about shapes. So you have those 3D shapes inside, you add them into the 360 image so that students are able to explore. Okay, they're within a classroom and environment, and then within that classroom environment, they have the shapes that they are interacting with in a math kind of class. Okay, so mostly the 360 is around touring and having a view around what? A view of environments. Okay, so you can explore more and see what are the possibilities. They are endless. I'll not say I've spoken about all of them, but they are immense. There are so many ways that you
Madam,
can
can I
apply
help
the
you add
technology.
on the mathematics view?
Yes, please, Katumba. Thank you.
Yes, please. To Mr. Was it Timothy?
Charles.
To Mr. Charles. Like basically, when we go to studies of, let's assume, bearing, we can still use this technology. To my view, where you used to teach us and tell us that the bearing from this point to this point, students can be seeing that virtually, or even when we are looking at was it finding the radius and perimeter of most things, we can use the class as our radius, and we use shapes as she said, and this technology can help to indicate the measurements of most things. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Katumba. Charles, I hope that was clear enough for you, but you can do more exploration to see what you can do with the
Madam
technology.
Flavia?
Maybe Madam Flavia, I can
Madam
also
Flavia.
give an illustration.
Yes.
Illustration.
Yes, please.
Based on an example like a data analytics, who may be presenting a data graphs, maybe the graphs of information of students in a class, which could be reflecting either the female and the male in a particular class. Using this technology, you can be able to visualize that class uh, uh, as the class looks like, how the students are seated in the class, and how the tables are arranged. A student can be able to visualize, or somebody can be able to visualize such a situation, but which is coming from a particular statistics of data. So this technology can be used in many various circumstances. Just like my colleague, who is a teacher of mathematics, has just expressed that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Francis. Charles, I hope it is clear, or at least somehow your brain has been opened to see how you can apply the technology there. Yes.
Yes, I think Mr. Francis has tried to really pull it out very well. I was also relating it to my, when it came to data analytics. The best example, if he does research on his own, let him try out Power BI, business intelligence, to really see this kind of.
Okay, thank you, Jolie. Okay, so to move on, we have what we call the metaverse. Okay, so metaverse, I think, how can I bring out? The metaverse is a shared virtual space. So you see how we've been talking about the different technologies, okay? 360, 3D, extended reality, AI. So when we talk about the metaverse, you're creating a virtual universe. You see how we have a world, and let's say UICT, for example. We have lab 1, we have ICT labs, we have electronics labs, we have a virtual reality lab, we have the seminar room, and we have the hub. So you virtualize that whole space. You're creating a virtual kind of universe. And then within each and every room, okay, say, for example, the virtual reality room, you have the components, you have, like you're seeing in the image here, maybe you have different students, avatars of students there, and they are having a class in that particular room. And then in the ICT lab, there are computers there, and some students represented by avatars are in that virtual space as well, experiencing ICT in their lab. Then the seminar, sorry, the hub, the ICT hub, you've created a virtual space around that, and you have innovators seated there, and they are represented by avatars, different avatars, and what they are doing, or the components that they are interacting with could be 360, could be 3D. They can have AI assisting them through the whole process. So you can even have meetings in virtual spaces where you see there's a whole, some people there having their meeting represented by avatars. So you have avatars within the space. You're able to collaborate and make presentations, actual presentations in a virtual space. So if we have a whole combination of what would happen in an actual world coming together, okay? If you virtualize everything that you do together, okay, in the real world, then you've created a metaverse. Is that making sense? Is that making sense? You virtualize.
Is.
Sorry, yes, Katumba?
Please, it is making sense, madam.
Okay, thank you. So I think it is safe for us to move to the next point, right? So here we talk about tools and software by skill level. So there's a number of tools that you can interact with, that you can use to create all those content, all that content that is required in a virtual space or virtual environment. Tools, different tools and softwares, just a number of them. We have EON-XR, which is going to be our core for our training, and we are going to base all our training or examples and everything around EON-XR and what it can do for you, okay? So there is Tinkercad, Adobe, CoSpace Edu. So these are all tools at beginner level that you can use to interact with. Create simple AVR content, designing, making the 3D designs without the coding knowledge. So there are those tools that can help you do all those things, okay? Then at the intermediate level, we have Unity 360 cameras that we've been talking about, such that, so we have Sketchfab. Sketchfab is a marketplace where you can create content and upload it, sell it to people. The 3D models, we call them 3D models or assets that people can use. So you as a teacher, for example, if you're teaching about ICT and you need a keyboard, if you cannot readily create it, there are environments where you can download and get an image, or sorry, a 3D model of a keyboard or mouse that you can use to teach, okay? Then we have the advanced level where we have Unreal Engine, Blender, and so on and so forth. So with these are just some of them. I'm sure you've interacted with so many, either knowingly or unknowingly, and you've created something that you may not be able to explain. But right now, as you move ahead and explore the technology, you can start to appreciate and know, oh, this is what I was interacting with. I remember back then, I liked so much simulating, doing those games, the virtual, okay, before I didn't know it was virtual reality, but I knew I enjoyed games, simulating things here and there, you're mixing there. They are games, but you do not know that you're actually interacting with some kind of immersive technology, okay? So right now there is a name, so you can define, there's a definition for what and what piece of material you're interacting with. So now I'm like, okay. So I used to play these electrical simulation games, and it is virtual reality. So things make more sense when we are exposed to knowledge. So let's do a lot of research around the technology to understand and appreciate it. So let's start with accessible tools that can match your current skill. So from you can gauge and know, okay, I think my skill level should be around somewhere here. So you look for appropriate tools that you can use fitting your skill level to actually benefit and create different tools or learning materials. It can be applications, okay? So those are just some of the softwares that you can use or tools, okay? Then how do you interact with the technology? Like we said, smartphones, okay? You have your smartphone. Everyone, okay, I will not say everyone, but at least most of us have smartphones right now. So you can interact with the technology using your smartphone. Like I said, Snapchat, people are doing filters on TikTok. They are doing, there is a software called, is it CapCut? Something like that. People are doing some real, getting some skills, but they do not know how to apply or channel that technology or what skills they're learning actually benefit them more. So this technology has been there, but is mostly it has been taken up into the entertainment world. So how do we bring it in education and embrace it and actually benefit from it? Okay, so this is one of the ways. Let's have students learn in a centered, let them be at the center of the way they learn, okay? Let them be at the center of the way they learn and experience, okay? It is a challenge to us, but as we adopt the technology, it can easily it will make our work easier. I think with the secondary teachers, you already have the new curriculum out. I think with this technology, there are immense opportunities that can help you create content that can help these learners get the most out of their learning process, okay? So we have, from the smartphones, we have the second gadget can be a HoloLens. So these are usually used for augmented reality, like I said earlier. Then we have the Oculus. Oh, sorry. The Oculus. Yes, Paul. Okay, so we have the Oculus, like I showed you earlier from the other image, the controllers, those are your hands in the environment, and then you have a laptop. So depending on how you want to experience the environment, you have all these different gadgets for you to use, okay? So the experience only differs with the kind of gadget you're using, but you all get the same content at the end of the day. Yes, Paul? Mr. Emmanuel Joseph, do you have something to say? Your audio is not clear. Okay. Baijuka, Alex?
Yes, you can continue, madam. Maybe someone mistakenly never muted, so you can continue.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so these are just some of the gadgets that you can use, but there are so many out there that you can look at. MetaQuest, HTC Vive, the HoloLens. So there are different models, different companies are coming up with that are doing all these things. So I hope as we are going, someone is able to identify ways where they can tap into the technology. We've seen with the gadgets, someone can tap into manufacturing. You can be in content development. So we are going to see what skills and you can attain some of the skills and what careers could be there for you that you can have besides besides teaching, okay? AVR in education and TVET, okay? So what is the purpose of us having virtual reality in education? How does it make sense to us as teachers or learners, okay, or entrepreneurs, okay? So risk-free practice. Here, students are able to do as many practicals as they can. Most of us have been, or let me say all of us have been learners, have been students, where you're charged a practical fee for breaking test tubes, okay? You're limited, you've broken it, you either go to you do another practical, but you know you have to pay for what you've broken, okay? So with the technology here, learners are in a safe environment. You're not worried about chemical getting onto your skin to damage it. Okay, you're not worried about you breaking a test tube. Okay, so meaning you can do as many practicals as you can without wastage. Okay, you can do, and with the many practicals that you're doing as a student, you're internalizing. Personally, I learn best when I do things. So you're understanding things. The more you do is the more you understand things. So as a learner, they are getting entertained as they are learning at the same time. So let's move the students away from just gaming with the technology. Let them actually do something productive with the technology. Instead of gaming and racing cars, let them actually do a game about them mixing up chemicals. Okay, let them learn about that. Let them do those different games that make sense so that they become productive. Because after racing, then what? You do not move straight away to the car and drive. You're only getting the experience of having fun, but at the end of the day, I don't see much productivity. Yes, some people are getting money out of gaming, the online gaming, but at least let's channel our students in the education sector. Let them be entertained as they are learning, such that with that entertainment, they're interested, they will pique their interest in learning concepts. So visual and interactive learning, like I said, the technology is visual. Students are learning 3D visualization, and they're able to interact like they would in the physical world. Okay, they're able to touch things, control things, move this here and there, install a hard disk into a system unit. So they are doing all these things in a virtual environment that maybe you've been limited to in class, that materials are not enough, everyone has to be in groups. You break down the class, you have 200 students, okay? You have 200 students and you cannot teach them in one go. So you're challenged to attend to each and every one of the students at different intervals, okay? So with the technology, at least at our exposure, we are able to create one piece of material, okay? And thousands of students can learn with that material. So you customize the content of that material and students are able to learn, okay? Then experiential learning, like I've said, learn by doing, okay? Your skill development is enhanced. The knowledge, you're applying the knowledge as you're learning, okay? So there's been worries of having AI in education. So let's not limit ourselves and by saying or limiting the students from being exposed to the technology. Let's find better ways and safer ways of them using the technology, okay? With AI, the platform particularly EON-XR, it has different quizzes, as you'll see, assessment processes. So in the learning process, students are able to interact with AI. But in the process of them interacting with AI, since the class is hands-on, okay, you ask AI to guide you, but AI will not actually install a motherboard for you. So you as a student, or as a student, when you as a teacher, you're checking students learning, where they are engaging with the environment, a learner has to do, so much as they're using AI to guide them, they are still doing. At the end of the day, by them doing, they are learning a skill. I hope we are together. So remote accessibility with the environment that we have right now, just like we are doing right now. Why should people working, why should everyone be limited to studying because maybe the school is too far, a particular course, especially for engineering, you're not allowed to study online because the course is too practical and complex. And the challenge with that is when you get to a school, they are not actually doing the practicals. So how do we overcome some of those things? Let's use the technology, avail the materials, practicals to the students, the hands-on practicals and materials. Let them learn remotely and maybe have a day or two where you can engage them, where they have to actually come physically to a classroom. Okay, so there are so many things that we can do with the technology, my guys. So let's explore, let's learn about the technology. Let's see what the technology can do. Applications in TVET. There's electrical wiring simulations. all those simulations are possible. We need to come up with the content. So by us having you, all of you with all your expertise in your different subject areas, coming on board and joining hands with UICT, let's come up with content that speaks to our students and our learners, that is also industry relevant to our learners. Okay, so let us update, let us be updated so that we help our students move ahead. Okay, let us not limit them to what we know. Let us expose them to the possibilities, the technologies that are out there for them to appreciate and learn. Okay, so what skills can you gain from AVR and metaverse workflows? These are just a few of them. You have technical skills. In technical skills, you can learn XR design. Like I've shown you, virtualizing this institution and creating 3D models out of it, or a metaverse, requires some actual skills. So those are skills that you can learn, that you can explore. And if a particular skill speaks out to you, you can say, okay, I think I need to explore this and see how I can make something out of it, okay, through content creation. So you have XR design, you have 3D modeling, we have Unity. Unity is a platform that can be used for creating simulation or XR experiences, okay? Coding fundamentals, there are languages that you can learn for you to be able to do the simulations. You may have to acquire certain coding experiences. Then creative skills, you're learning digital design, storytelling, like I've shown you, 360. You have images, but if you do not know how to do a real storytelling, you don't know how to, you may fail to organize those images in a way that makes sense to students. Okay, so those are some of the skills that you can learn as you can get as you're adapting to the technology. Okay, innovation and problem solving. So where we have, like I talked about earlier, students learning on obsolete technology. Let us be innovative, create things that are relevant, industry relevant to our students, such that the translation between what they've studied in class to what they find outside in the field is the gap is almost non-existent. Okay, so let us be innovative, and in that, and us using the tools available to us, our students are also getting innovative. Okay, you have students creating simulations, coming up with ideas that they can do with the technology. For example, if you're doing a prototype, if you're an engineering student and you're required to do a project at the end of your academic year, it can be a diploma, certificate, or bachelor's, or whatever it is that you're doing at that moment. So instead of you incurring so many costs, so much money, trying to buy components and trying out different things to prototype, you have the technology at your exposure, and you're able to simulate environments before you actually move to the actual product. Okay, the actual prototype. So you've already tried out how much power is needed in your particular circuit, what dimensions you need for your particular prototype. So I don't know how to do this technology justice, but the possibilities are immense, you guys. There are so many. Then we have collaboration skills, digital teamwork, virtual communication, cross-cultural interaction. By us coming and engaging you as TVETs or as TVETs in all your different disciplines, we are already collaborating with you. That is already collaboration. So we need to teamwork, see how our learners can get the best out of it, okay? Then adaptability skills, technological flexibility, okay? Continuous learning and feature readiness. I hope those make sense already as they are, okay? So let us get a skill that from us interacting the technology, we shall be able to get it. It can be a soft skill, it can be a hard skill that we can use, okay? So the applications are only limited by our imaginations, okay? Then the jobs and career pathways that you can do, career opportunities. You can be an XR, AR, or VR developer. You can be a simulation specialist, 3D modeler or designer, digital learning specialist, metaverse event coordinator. I don't know how many of you have seen some events, some artists have done their shows virtually. So those are skills that you can do. Because like I said, the technology is not limited to one discipline. It cuts across all sectors, okay? So local industry applications, we have education and training, tourism and hospitality, agriculture and health, creative industries, arts. So these are just a few, but you can explore and see how much more you can do with the technology. So begin with accessible tools, like I've said, we are going to use EON as one of our tools, okay, to interact with the technology and how to create classes, okay, because there is a growing demand for professionals, XR professionals, okay. So let us interest ourselves in joining the process of adapting and using the technology. So some use cases from our environments, we have automotive, where you can explore 3D car engines, hospitality, hotel service, VR hotel service training. So you're able to train using role play. You can create scenarios with AI. So we shall see how that happens. Fashion, virtual garment prototyping, like we've seen in one of the demos. Then plumbing, you can simulate pipe installations, health, anatomy, first aid in VR. So before you actually move to someone and operate on them, you've done multiple practices on how you're supposed to do maybe an incision or something like that. Then agriculture, how do you manage livestock simulations? Sorry. Then how do we create AVR or 360 content, okay? So you first identify a learning objective. You as a teacher, you have objectives, you have a curriculum that is supposed to follow. So in this, I think it can be, you can identify the topic. If you're an entrepreneur, you can identify a solution, a problem story that you would wish to provide a solution to. Then choose an appropriate platform. So here we are going to look at EON-XR for beginners. There are so many platforms that you can use, okay? Then you capture the content or design the 3D objects. Here, for purposes of this training, like we said, it's an introductory. We're not going to capture or design 3D objects. If you're able to, that is okay. But we are going to basically use what is available to us and on the platform, okay? Then you can add interactions, labels, voices, quizzes, AI steps. You create a video of yourself explaining concepts to learners, just like people are using YouTube. You can do that with the technology on 3D models. Then you can also test, okay? You can test and refine. You get feedback in the process of creation. You're able to get feedback from colleagues, okay? Or maybe you go back and see what you've created. Does it make sense from the students? Then you can publish to the students or communities. So the platform EON-XR that you're going to look at, you're able to what? To publish content to the students, and there's a possibility of you integrating the platform with your current learner management system, okay? So some best practices is to use local content or local objectives and scenarios that are relevant to our environment. So the technology is here, but the content is coming from us, okay? Each of you is an expert in your various fields. So you know what makes sense and what would best benefit the students or learners, okay? So our EON-XR platform, we shall see just a basic overview. It's a cloud-based platform, meaning you can interact with it online over the web, okay? So you have some features like you can have object tagging, voice narrations, quizzes, you have AI guided steps, you can label, so you can access the platform with your phone, tablet, or the head-mounted headsets, the ones that we've seen earlier. You download the application. So with your smartphones right now, you can check the Play Store and try to download the application. Then on the laptop, we are going to see TOTs. If you can please help here. I think you need to gather members, please give, if Mr. Kaziba has already the details, you can share with me for each of us that are already here on the platform. I need the email, your emails and your full name, okay? We are going to create licenses, and as later on, still within today's presentation, at least most of you should have access to the platform, and there is also a download. So our TOTs in the chats will guide you, and you'll see how to actually download. There's an application that we can use for the web-based on our laptops. There's an application you have to download, but first is accessing the platform, okay? So please, TOTs, if members are able to, you can type in your full name and email, or if Mr. Kazib already has the content, please, the names and emails of each and every one that is here, please, you can share that, and we do a mass enrollment of members.
Okay,
then,
Madam Flavia?
EON-XR, but...
Madam Flavia?
Yes, please.
Yes, I'm going to request those who have not yet filled in the form before we extract the names and emails to fill in the form. There is a form in the chat. Kindly click, because looking at the registration, 73 members have been able to fill in their details. So there are others that have not yet. So kindly fill in the form such that we capture the details from there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Because the subsequent sessions, you need access to the platform, okay? There's a possibility of you using the free version. It has a free version, but that may come with limitations. It will not give justice to what you want to capture during the training of you creating the content. So recently, we've been able to acquire EON AI within the platform. So you have AI assisting you in creating your lesson. So like we said, this is beginner, so you may not need extensive skills in content creation like 3D models, but you as a subject matter, I think, as a subject expert, you're able to create audios, organize your notes and videos, audios, you speaking through content that you can upload to the platform. So we shall see how you can use AI and AI tutors to create scenes, okay? A learning experience using your notes that you've generated, okay? So why should these technologies matter to us? Global transformation. Like I've mentioned, XR is reshaping how we are learning, how we are working, and how we are connecting to the world. So we have no excuse of staying behind. Please let us embrace the technologies. Let's move ahead alongside other industries. So as Uganda, we need to position ourselves to move along. Okay, the technology is here. The next best thing may come from one of you or one of our learners. So let us embrace what is available to us so that we move ahead. Fourth industrial revolution, the 4 IR technologies. I hope we are all familiar with them. Emerging technologies. Okay, Uganda strategic priority. So XR is included in the growth pillar in Uganda's 4 IR strategy. So XR with extended reality, you're placing yourself in the national strategy objectives of the nation and how we transform the nation, okay? What is the future? Like I said, metaverse learning environments. We've seen metaverse learning environments is broad. You're creating a virtual world of everything that you do in the physical world. AI-driven personalized tutors that you're able to create solutions that someone asks AI as you're moving along, as you're learning through your learning process or creation process. You have an AI tutor to guide you. You ask them questions as they respond, just like you're interacting with ChatGPT. But here you have your own tutor that is taking you through the process of maybe creating a class. It can be a business solution, creating anything. I think we've seen what ChatGPT does. So let us embrace and see how we channel these technologies to our benefit, okay? So mixed reality workplaces, cross-border collaboration in XR. So we are not limiting ourselves. You're able to collaborate with so many people elsewhere. So Uganda has the capability to surpass the traditional infrastructure limitations using XR, okay? So let's not look at our limitations as big problems, but let's find a curve, okay? Let's move around the obstacles and forge a way forward. So final reflections and a call to action. Let's start small. Use mobile XR apps. You can even use laptop depending on what gadget is at your disposal. If you can afford the XR, the VR headsets, you can do that as well. Create locally relevant content, okay? Don't wait for imports. Let's be able to create content that speaks to us and speaks to us as Ugandans and our students and our environment. Form clubs. We are planning to come to schools, as yesterday Francis communicated this. We are planning to come to schools to roll out the technology. We want to form clubs if they're not existing there in the schools. Let students and teachers be fully engaged in the technology, okay? Then use tools. There are tools like, for now, we are going to use EON-XR, but you can explore more and see what tools are available that you can use, okay? We need to use these tools to practice and teach, okay? So let's not be only consumers, okay? Let us start also creating solutions. Let us also be creators of solutions. So like someone said, I quoted this and I found it very powerful, at least to me. I hope it makes sense to you as well. We owe it to the young generation to give them a richer, more empowering education than we ever received, okay? One that prepares them not for our past, but for their future. Our past may have had limitations, but let's prepare them for their future, okay? I hope that makes sense to you like it did to me. So the next step, thank you so much for listening to me, but our next step is creating an account on EON, and then members logging in, then downloading the EON-XR platform. So we shall guide, together with the TOTs, we are going to guide through the process. And then homework. Since you're all teachers, you can be teacher, you can be a student, but your draft, it can be a simple lesson, draft a simple lesson, okay? Or a practice objective. So if it is to do with business, like someone asked, how can I do sales? You draft something small, okay? You draft something today so that tomorrow we are able to see how you can create an experience around what you've drafted, okay? It is a business objective. I would wish to end my presentation here. We shall have Mr. Chimbugwe Anthony doing a demo after here, but I don't know if members have questions.
Yes, Madam Flavia.
Yes, Jolly.
Thank you for the presentation.
You're welcome. Yes, Jolly, are you saying something?
I missed EON. And it's for EON info. I missed it out.
You missed the what? I'm not getting you.
I think Flavia is talking about EON. EON. He's talking about EON.
Okay, so
Maybe,
he did not get.
yeah, maybe he didn't get what EON is.
Okay, so EON is a platform. It's a web-based platform. It is almost like, no, it is not almost. It is a learner management system, but for the extended realities. I don't know if that makes sense. You know how you have your LMS, learner management system at school? So with the LMS where you're able to upload videos, notes, give quizzes and assignments. Then we have EON Reality or EON-XR. EON Reality is the company that we partnered with, okay? We have licenses like Francis mentioned yesterday that we're supposed to give out. And the platform is a learner management system, but for the extended realities. So it is going to be able to enable us to create lessons for virtual augmented reality with AI within and have them hosted on the platform. I don't know if that is making sense, Jolly.
Maybe just to add on that, EON is a company by name, which provides the AVR assets. But within the EON, there are other different assets like the platform, which my colleague Flavia is explaining about EON-XR. That's the platform itself. There's no, it's not that it's an abbreviation. It's just a company name which has a number of different sets of assets that EON identified to promote their application or platform. Maybe just to make a summary of what my colleague has elaborated so much to introduce to the team is that I think she has done a lot to explain what 3D models are, and as all of us were aware, she has said this represents a physical object in a digital D space that allows interaction, manipulation, scaling, rotating, and examination from various perspectives. So 3 models are fundamental in virtual labs. All what we are talking about, we need 3 models in virtual labs. In engineering simulations, and this is why we sincerely targeted vocational institutions. And then medical virtualizations. We also have other programs that we are going to target people within the medical space. Then we have 360, he talked about the 360 media, the panoramic image or videos that enable users to explore scenes in all directions. These are commonly used in virtual tours, field-based learning, constructional storytelling, allowing various viewers to look around an environment using a mouse, touch screen, and maybe a VR headsets. So she has ever done this. Then we have, she also talked about immersive interfaces, where users use experiences created through AVR or VR devices or desktop or your mobile environment, allowing interaction through gestures. I remember when she was displaying her presentation, we saw students gesturing using VR devices. Then motion tracking and gaze control. These interfaces foster deep engagement and improved knowledge retention in learning. When students use these experiences, they are able to gain more knowledge and also retain knowledge. Then finally, where she didn't talk much about, and I'm sure they're going to do a lot about here, is how to create an account using AVR EON-XR. Now here, like she already explained that EONreality.com is a web-based program. So you can access it on your website. on your computer, as long as you have the internet. Just log in www.eonreality.com. Then you can log in and create an account. Like she said, they are free. You can create a free license, but the free license will not give you all the assets. No, so if you want to get all the assets, now the administrator herself who has been presenting will now give you a license. That a license will give you all the assets, all the privileges for you to do a lot of things. And she can also choose you whether you are an instructor or you a student. So the lead administrator can decide whether you should be a teacher or a student. And this is why we are looking at institutions like a vocational institution, where we shall identify one person who shall be a lead instructor, whom we shall give all the access to the platform. And that lead instructor will be the one now to create students who will assign rights to the students, and you'll be able now to work within the platform. And on this, we are looking towards working with the heads of institutions. I'm happy. I have seen a number of heads of institutions who have logged in here. I've seen people from Kabale, the principals. I'm very really pleased that you have been part of this noble cause, and we need really to work with you so that we have these facilities within your confinement. So these are some of the things that my colleague has talked about, and as we keep interacting, we don't have time. We'll have to get to know more. Thank you very much. Maybe I hand over to Mr. Kaziba to bring in the next presenter, who is
Mr.
Anton.
Francis, I have a question, please, before you go.
All right.
Yes, Mr. Francis. Now, to some of us who are not teachers or instructors, can we, as long as I get the knowledge, can I teach like my friends at campus? Can I teach my fellows in my former schools, if the institution can allow, or it is only basically to the vocational people with certificates of teaching? Because I'm studying tech. So is it going to be beneficial to me, or it's just for learning? That's all, sir. That's my question.
Mr. Katumba, where are you studying from?
I am studying from Isbat University.
Isbat University is not very far from UICT.
Yes, sir.
I think if you get some time, just come at UICT and we have a chat. You have a lot of opportunities to explore.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Francis.
You're welcome.
Okay, sir.
Another question?
First is
Salim?
the few that I've seen.
Can unmute?
Yeah, finally. Thank you very much. This is Kasamba Salim from Bujiri. I'm working with farmers, and these are young people that are interested in digitizing agriculture. I have a small company there called IEC, Materials Consultants. We are promoting digitization. And I was really so interested that some of these tools here can easily make agriculture attractive, the young people. And they don't even need to go to the garden to understand some of these things, going around whatever you're training them, instead of physically going to the garden. And I'm really so excited. Can I also come and visit UICT and we interact better?
You are most welcome. And
yes,
I have actually a team coming from South Africa
Yes,
to demonstrate how AVR can be utilized in agriculture. So I think I would be very happy to receive you, and just get in touch with Flavia and we see how we can work together.
All right. Can I have
Yes,
Flavia's number
In the chat.
Flavia is in the
in the
chat.
chat? Yeah?
But actually, I think what we have, I don't know if it has, I skipped it, but we have enterprise licenses as well. So enterprise are catering to the industry.
Okay.
Okay. So we have
Yeah.
education licenses and we have enterprise licenses as well. So you would best fit in the enterprise sector, but at least in this introductory training, we should all benefit from the same. Then with that discussion that you're talking about that we'll have later, we can see about the rest of the things, how we can help each other out.
All right. Should I come tomorrow?
Tomorrow, let's discuss that.
I think let's conclude this training and then we see the way forward. Maybe
Then
starting
we
from
see
next week, we should have a lot of engagements
Yeah.
because we expect institutions who are participating here maybe to officially get in touch with us and we see how we can work together. One of the things that I think now we should find now a formal way of engaging each other after this conversation, which we are conducting throughout this week. Then after that, we should see how we can get to work together.
All right, I'm so excited. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I
there are
think
some
we
questions
don't
that
have
were in the
time. I think
chat.
Anthony should come in.
Okay.
Briefly.
All right. So there were some
Stephen, do you
questions
have
in the
something to
chat.
say?
No, we can first have Mr. Anthony.
Francis.
Okay.
Okay, so we finish with Anthony and then we finish up with everything, right? Please give me feedback on who has registered and who has given you their details so that after he's done speaking, then we start the process of, I enroll immediately so that after he's done, we just go through what needs to be done to have everyone logged in.
Hello, Flavia. Hello, can members hear me?
Yes,
loud
Mr.
and clear.
Anthony, clear.
Yes, we can. Let me stop share. Okay. I think you can now share your screen.
Just give me a moment. Flavia, no, just someone was calling my phone. I'm using it for internet. Let me just share my screen, members, and we are here going to look at the EON platform. One Flavia has just spoken about, and maybe I could also share the link as you see how the environment looks like. Let me just share the link to. Members. Hello, members, let me just share this link. I was just interrupted by somebody. So I think you can click on that one to look at the sign-in methods. We have the free area where you need the free sign up, and then we can also use the sign-in. Of course, when Madame Flavia will enroll, you may not.
We are not seeing your display.
No, I'm going to display. I've not yet shared. Okay, I've not yet shared. Let me open
Actually,
your
we
thing.
have only 15 minutes to get out of here.
Okay. So this is the environment. This is the environment for the EON platform. And actually with this environment, you will be able to view exactly what you're supposed to see and all the tools you're supposed to use. Now, throughout this environment, you can see we have a library for which you will be collecting information from the library. At the same time, maybe let me just sign in myself so that you see the other areas. I've not signed in, but don't worry, this takes a short time. So with enough administrative rights, you would be able to see a different environment from the free environment. The other area was if you had signed in like a free environment, but now here we are seeing a better environment. Now you have a library for which the library is where you pick now, for example, areas of your interest in terms of the teaching and learning. Okay, you can see all the attributes are there in teaching and learning. Okay, so and then when we look at the workspace is an area for where you have actually put your developed your personal experiences, and this is where they sit in the workspace. And then we have, you can see there, some of them are there, as well as you can see the marketplace. The marketplace is an area for which you can find those ones that are on for sale. Actually, when you create your experience and you feel it should be on for market for sale, for you to earn something, you will put it at the marketplace. Then here is where we click and create the metaverse builder, catalogs, and other experiences. So each of these, when you click on it, it will take you to a different window for which you will be able to create those environments that you wish to use, okay? Now, let me also click, I have a problem with the internet, so, okay. Then here, at the same time here, you'll be able to create 3D assets, import 360 assets, okay? Go to your marketplace and do other things and also join meetings. Now, Madam Flavia had requested me to show one of the experiences that I've been using. I don't know if that was right, Madam Flavia. So, and one of the experiences was on information technology. So you go to the library and look for information technology. And then I picked an experience that was already done by somebody, but I'm showing you how good it is and how it can help you in the teaching and learning. So I clicked on a personal computer that was here, computer system, okay? For it to load. Where you're saying mounting of a computer system. Okay. So now with this experience, it enables, let's say, for example, people who are teaching now. You find that some institutions do not have quite a number of equipment, and then students also destroy equipment, as they had said earlier. But then with this equipment here, that it is a single equipment, you would be able to use it with quite a number of students, whether 1,000, whether 300, everybody will have the same experience that you have said. Now, when you start a meeting, for example, like this one, okay? Start a meeting, this button, when you click the start a meeting button, my internet is too slow. But actually, I wanted to show you, when you start a meeting, there's a link that you send to the students that they will be using, okay? Now, when you start this experience, that means this experience will be able to load, okay? I wonder why my experiences are not loading. The internet speed's actually slow on my side. Okay, so I'm seeing people are still working my internet. Let me switch to another network, sorry for this. You will just excuse me. Let me just switch to another network so that I can be able not to be disturbed, okay? So, okay, I'll switch to another network. Now let us check the experience, whether it will work. Okay, working. So it is there. Are you seeing anything on your side?
No.
Okay. Sorry, let me do once again. Yeah. Let me see now whether yes, it is loading now so fast. Okay. So I was saying that now when you click such an experience, it would be able to load. As it is loading, it will provide a different environment. Okay. So when I click on start meeting, you see a link will be created. And this link is the one you provide to the students by copying it and sending it to the students. And then you have to look for the nearby server, okay? So that your content can be picked from a nearby server, okay? Now, when you start the experience, okay? When you start the experience, for example, the experience will load, okay? The experience will load, okay? Now, when the experience loads, it will be seen by all students. I don't know why you are not seeing it on your side. On my side, it is loading, and on your side, I see it is just stationary. I think as well as the speeds. I see your side is still stationary, but don't mind, it's going to show. Are you seeing anything on your side like a PC which has loaded?
No. Yes, we can see.
Sorry. Yes, yeah. But I'm not seeing it the way you are seeing it. I don't know why your side it is not loading. I'm just seeing a written, somebody has written onto it. I think somebody scribbled onto it. Yeah? On my side, it has loaded. I wonder, well, your clientele side, it is not loading. I'm not seeing anything on the clientele side. Basically, someone has just written to it, on it, with a marker. I don't know, but let me try and reload it again. I wonder why you're not seeing the same thing that I'm seeing. Okay? I think now it's going to load. So there are just some interruptions. On my side, it is loading, but on your side, I'm seeing it is not doing anything. It's still on the same screen.
Yes.
But on my side, it has loaded very well. Okay, I think there are technical issues here. Eh?
Yes,
because what I'm
no.
seeing on my side,
No,
it has loaded.
Tony,
Yes.
you need to switch sharing screen so that you share the one that is the application. Eh?
Okay. Okay. No, I'm sharing only one screen that is showing the application. And on the other screen, I'm seeing what you are seeing on the other side. You understand, Flago?
No, you switch.
Hello?
We are only seeing the web. We are seeing the web page. Eh? So you switch
that's what I'm
sharing to
saying.
the application.
Okay.
No, it can't be clearly seen. Just do what.
Yes.
Do what necessary.
I've seen what. No, it's okay. I have seen what you are saying. Okay, let me share the actual thing that you're supposed to be seeing. Okay, that's what you're supposed to be seeing. I opened it, but I had not switched. Okay, so this is what you see after you load. Eh? So exactly after I load, I would be able to see like this is our personal computer, like this is the system unit. Okay, this is the system unit, right? Now this system unit, whatever I am doing here is being seen by all the students, right? But remember, you are sharing one gadget in a ratio of 300, and everybody would be able to do what? To use and see the gadget. Sorry?
The gadget is not on now. The screen is empty.
On yours? Are you sure? Okay, let me.
No, we are seeing.
Only who's?
Only
you are seeing it?
We are seeing.
Yeah, we are seeing. I think it is his network.
Okay, so now connect. I'm going to explode. I'm going to explode this unit. You see this? So now when I explode the unit, I'll be able to identify and pick any particular part of the system that I need the students to learn and see. You see this? So I would be able to show the students whatever they need to know about, let's say, the computer's motherboard, isn't it? But at the same time, there are parts that are labeled. You see this? When I click on this one, I can be able to label. And then this one, I can be able to set it back to be closed. You understand? At the same time, I can take it back to its ordinary and then remove the labels. So basically, this is how the environment interests the what? The learners, the users, okay? So these are some of the exercises that we are going to perform tomorrow. These are the things we are going to learn tomorrow. You would be able, one, to be able to record, okay? You hear now, this is my sound, okay? Okay. So you want to listen to all that, okay? Then we have at the same time areas that students need to know. Maybe wants to know the power supply, would click on it and get to know the power supply unit. At the same time, they will do quizzes if they are available, if you have set the quizzes, okay? If the quiz, the person has selected the right thing, it will be correct. If you have selected the wrong thing, it will be that. So I don't want to actually excite you now until tomorrow, when we basically start using what? Basically start using the environment, okay? So ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if there are any questions to ask, but there's a lot to learn with this environment. I believe we shall be learning this with all of us and then come up, create different content and use the EON environment to design, okay? And now the content you have produced, you'll be able to use it for teaching and learning. So thank you so very much. Hello, are there any questions, please?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes. I'm Mongo. I mean, I get me.
Loud the class.
Yeah, I'm Wamonga, made from Bale, this side of Bukonde. I was inquiring about, like, can I download it, then I share to my student in form of like a video in case for learning purposes after classes without recording?
Mr. Arthur.
I think I can help out.
Okay.
Thank you so much. The platform, you can download on your personal account an experience that you've already loaded, but most of everything is online. So if a student sees an experience, they can download it on their account. That is why we are saying we are going to enroll students as well when we come to you. But for now, you can only share through your account what you have. But people make the EON Reality company is a business. So they cannot readily make content free or freely available offline. Okay. So you can take the content, it is there, and it can be accessed, but you can only download the content within your personal account and access it offline, but it will not be downloaded onto your device per se.
Thank you, Madam Flavia.
So, Madam Flavia, excuse
Thank
me.
you.
What I want to tell the institute, as long as you have downloaded it, I think you will be able to share it among what? Among your participants.
Yes, you can, but it is not offline. You cannot download it. You access it still online. It's not offline. You still access it. A link can be shared like we do for Zoom, and you access the content or the lesson is called an experience in this case. You access the experience online still. Jolly, you had a question.
Yes, my question was, in fact, do these licenses limit modules, or once you want to subscribe for a license, you are not limited to any module? It is open to any sector of module as they were listed when Mr. Anthony was trying to present. Then the other question was, I think it was later that one that the previous guy has just asked, whether after doing the project, like maybe attending the class, you can download the video and have it maybe on your local disk and maybe share it. And those are the two questions.
Okay, so like I said, you can download it. You can download the experience on your particular device. So you can share it offline, but anyone else access it offline, they also have to download it within their account. Then the licenses, to do the licenses, you can access all the content, but a creator can limit you from, so if I created my piece of content, I can limit you from seeing it. So basically, you have access to all modules within the platform. The licenses were acquired and they're active for 5 years. So -1, they're left with 4 years. So you have 4 years to access to the license. In case of the students, like we said, we are going to enroll students as well through your institutions. Okay, we enroll the students and where you can upload the content, how you can share the content, all that will be taken into detail when we come to the particular institutions.
Madam Flavia, before you go off, sorry, is there an API, for example, like an application program interface, for example, Zoom, that will support an online session? For example, I'm a tutor and then I want to have an online session through the platform with my students, or the application itself, EON, has an embedded interactive software that supports us to have this class or presentation.
EON itself has, but then just like we are using Zoom, you can still use Zoom to access the platform and share your screen. EON has, it is what we call live meeting, for you to interact around a piece of a model, and then you're able to have your class live, or you can have the pre-created content. But also, like I said, you can integrate, the platform can be integrated with the learner management systems in your schools. Models to do with the Moodle and Canva, it can be integrated into your LMS in the school. Do I answer your question?
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Madam Flavia, thank you so much. Sincere, I'm very much excited. This is Alex. I'm calling from Wakiso District. Can I request Madam Flavia anyway to share the notes you took us through? Otherwise, it will be very much welcome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Alex. Thank you for tuning in. So yes, I think right now I'm trying to make sure all of us leave when we've enrolled. We'll go through the enrollment process. Now, Tim, the one you've created is a free account. You do not have access to the license, so it is limited. I'm going to use the emails that you've shared. So I don't know what members suggest through Kaziva. I think you can guide. Either members stay on call as I finish up here, or through the WhatsApp group. So that is on assumption that everyone is on the WhatsApp group. The emails are shared in the form that you registered with. So I've got that form already, and I'm trying to do an enrollment, a mass enrollment for each and every one of you.
Madam Flavia.
Yes.
Flavia, maybe we can discuss that later.
The what?
Flavia, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, I was suggesting that on the matter of enrollment, we need to agree furthermore,
okay,
and see whom to take. We know we don't want to waste our licenses. We need to know people who are really committed to be part of this project.
Okay, please.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I don't know if anyone has anything else.
Madam Flavia.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I can.
the last one, is there a system requirement, like system requirement?
You're breaking. I did not really.
Hello?
Yes, you were breaking. I did not really get what you said.
Can you now hear me?
Yes, I can.
My question is there a system requirement limitation? Because I saw the system so being that however much it is an online based, but could be a little.
Still do that same? Will you carry on the same methodology? Or you
Okay,
still carry
so
on the way you've been doing things?
basically,
Because
since you have
context.
feedback, please mute. Someone has feedback. Someone has feedback in the background. If you can mute.
That when you
Okay.
there is a possibility of some people falling off. Now, if we bring on board this one day orientation in class, how are we managing
Douglas, please you mute your audio back in the background.
Continuing because they are free things, but
Douglas,
naturally the orientation has told them you are not here, but I will not go because there is fact around.
Mr. Kaza, if you can help, please, to mute Douglas.
We need to accept that proposal, but also very sure that the risk you have just shared is mitigated, that the orientation addresses will still not suffice.
Let's think also of sustainability after GIZ, because you saw it is a big elephant.
Okay, so I don't know if you can hear me over here on her.
So should we put a cost in the trainings? So making it 100%.
Someone can call Douglas and maybe get so far. It's very unfortunate. We cannot hear.
I think if
I am saying yes.
Kaziba can mute him because he has the rights, but
Yes. Okay.
Please mute Douglas.
Okay. Let me first mute everyone for now. Okay, Madam Flavia, you can go on.
Okay, thank you so much. So, regarding the system requirements, I think a laptop of 4 GB RAM, basic, at the minimum, 4 GB RAM, 2.5 gigahertz speed of processor, maybe i5, i3, and above are good, because you're not doing the heavy workload of creating the 3D content. That is a different talk on its own. But you using the platform to create classes, as long as you have good internet connectivity and 4 GB RAM at the minimum for a laptop. Storage, everything is toward cloud-based. So your laptop can even be 256 GB and still work well. Jolly, I don't know if I've answered you.
Yes, I think you have Madam Flavia.
Okay, thank you. The WhatsApp group, Mr. Kaziba, some people asking for the WhatsApp group in the chat. They're asking for the WhatsApp group. I think the link. Someone said adjust the learning to a low-cost budget, but I do not know what that means really. There was a question in the chat earlier, and someone was saying adjust the training to a low-cost budget. I don't know what they meant by that. And then someone was commenting that I was running so fast. That is why I ask members to unmute so that we have that kind of interaction and you're able to tell me if either I'm too slow or too fast during the training. But I'm sure a recording is going to be shared for members to see and go through what was discussed today. Oh, sorry, someone asked how much are the licenses? We got 5,000 licenses for educator and 750 licenses for enterprise. Government sponsored, and we were able to acquire that. So through UICT, we are supposed to train and also have all levels of education to get access to the platform. The licenses don't come cheap, but they are free to the education institutions that we'll be meeting up with. But there is a free version of the license that anyone can access. So you can talk to your colleagues, they can access the free version of the platform if they're not part of us. I shared my email through the chat. Yeah, let me reshare. Oh, Stephen Chiseka, you're saying at first everything was highly costly, like drones, etc. No, but I think I cleared that up. You can let me know if I did not, but there are so many different gadgets. Like I said, you can stand on the building up and take an aerial view, depending on the applicability of what you want to achieve. But you basically don't need the drone at this stage. You need the license, you need your materials, your course materials, and yourself to create the content.
Okay, thank you, Madam Flavia. Let me hope those who had some questions, all your questions have been answered. And let me hope everyone that has been on the call, you have been able to register. In the registration form, we have 134 members. So let me hope you have registered for day 2. Those who missed yesterday, that session is available on YouTube. You can go on and review that session on YouTube. And also this session will be posted on YouTube for those ones who came in a bit late, such that you may know where we started from. So I have shared the registration link again for those who have just come in or those who came in the middle of the session. And then I'm going to share the WhatsApp group where you are going to, where we communicate and send the links and then the recordings for the session. So those who are not yet here, please, you can join the WhatsApp group. The YouTube link, I'll share it in the WhatsApp group such that you can be able to access it. But we want to thank you so much for joining the session. Yesterday, we asked you that let each one of you at least invite 1 or 2 friends, invite 2 or 3 friends in his or her school, such that they can be able to join in. I know some of you stay around vocational institutes, so kindly, in case you have not seen them join, let them join. Like our facilitators today have shared with us that these experiences, these assets are going to be very important. And if you are here and you are teaching the new curriculum, I know very soon, also the vocational institutes, you are changing your curriculum. So there is a lot that we are going to be sharing, and there's a lot that you can learn. Those people who are teaching mathematics, some of you have been seeing those formulas more so in the 3-dimension, the mensuration, but some of those formulas, they can be shown to the learners how they come about. Take an example when it comes to a cone. When you have a cone, you know that a cone originates from a cylinder, and you know that to obtain a cone, it means that they are 3 cones that fit into a cylinder. So that's how we come up with the formula of a third, and the formula of a third, that's where it comes from. So now such things, the learners will be able to see them virtually by you cutting out, getting your cylinder, cutting it, and forming the cones, and they'll be able to see the 3 cones and inside the cylinder and how you extract. The same thing will happen when it comes to a cuboid, that through a cuboid you can get a pyramid. So learners will be able to see how you can extract a pyramid from a cuboid and how you get the third base area times the height. So all those experiences we can be able to design, and this is going to be a game changer in the educational in the education sector. So please you stay with us for the whole week, and please keep taking note. Let's keep writing. Let's keep taking notes of the different things that we are learning, and please make more research. In case there's anything that maybe it's not so clear, you may find time, ask. The facilitators will always be available to support us such that we can be better at using this kind of technology. Allow me now to invite Mr. Francis to say something and then to officially close off the session.
Yeah, thank you very much, Stephen and team and all participants. I want to take this opportunity also to wish you success in all this endeavor that we are trying. We become a must with the AVR technology. I want to thank Flavia for ably illustrating what AVR can do. And I also want to thank the participants for showing interest. And I want to assure you that you are going to benefit out of this. There are many opportunities, not just for only your institution, but also for as an individual. As you get to learn or interact with the AVR platform, you realize that you have already, I know as teachers, you have content, and any content that you upload on AVR platform, EON is able to pay for it. So these are opportunities that we may leverage from. What we just need to do for now is to learn how we can utilize these tools, the 3Ds, 360, and all other immersive technologies. I know most of us now we are you are in a remote place and you have a smartphone, you should be able to utilize these tools and also be able to share the technologies within your communities. So I just want to encourage you and applaud you that let us not give up, let us push. With the technologies, when you don't push, you remain behind. And when you remain behind, you may end up perishing, because every day new things are coming up, new things are emerging up. So I just put a hand to you and call upon you that let us stand up and let us push for this. I know we shall reap. I wish you the best, and I look forward to have the next session tomorrow at the same time. Thank you very much. Back to Kazim.
Thank you, Mr. Francis, and have a good evening, everyone.